Hello, hello. Hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, my bi-weekly show. I am Marina Shepelsky. I'm U.S. immigration attorney for 22 plus years, and we're here to talk about everything U.S. immigration. We are here to discuss the main issues, what's going on with Trump era. We're here to answer your questions. But first, let me just talk a little bit about myself. And then I'm going to invite you to post in the comments where you're from. Like my friend here, Ankush Doda, says, hi, I'm from India. Thank you for watching. Hi. We are not here to sponsor anybody for a work visa. Just want to make it clear. We are here to help people with the paperwork for a visa. Once you already have somebody who wants to hire you, we are, oh, hi, Sandeep Kumar from India. Hello, thank you for watching. My friends here on YouTube and Facebook, hello, welcome to my show. Okay, so we have a topic today, and we will talk about cancellation of removal after 10 years in US with kids or spouse who is either with a green card or citizenship. But before we get into that, I'm going to ask you to write in the comments where you're watching me from, and I will talk a little bit about my own background for our new subscribers. So I came here, I'm an immigrant. I was 12 years old, and I started my journey in New York. I came here with my parents from Ukraine, and I went to school here. Sami is watching from Illinois. Hello, welcome. Can you hear me on Instagram? Can you hear me? Just give me like a little hi if you could hear me, or like a heart or any kind of an emoji to let me know that you could hear me. And if you could hear me on Facebook and on YouTube, let me know as well. So I came here as a teenager from Ukraine. I went to school in New York. Then I went to NYU for undergrad. Hi for CR Rodriguez 79. And when I was in college, I wanted to be a doctor, not a lawyer. But I had a job, a part-time job at a law office, and like I fell in love with this practice of law. And I decided to be brave, even though English was my second language, not my first language. I decided to give it a shot and be brave and go to law school. And I did really good. Well, hello to Travel to World. Hello. Hi. And let me log into my Instagram comments here online so that I don't have to look on my phone for the comments and I can just look on my screen. When I started practicing law, I'm admitted I'm allowed to practice states, New York and New Jersey. I thought about what I want to do, and like the first thing that started to come my way, and you know, when you're a young lawyer, you're happy to practice in whatever you have a chance to practice in when you have your own practice. And I had hi from Jazzy. Hello. So, you know, when I started practicing, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had my own practice. I worked for myself. And the first people who approached me were immigrants because of the same language sometimes, about the fact that I was in the local community, and I started to try to do different things, and it really worked out for me. I fell in love with it. I'm good at papers. I'm good at figuring out strategy. So immigration law was very close to my heart, dear to me because I'm an immigrant, and I felt like I need to help others who are very confused and lost in this really complicated system. So I began practicing asylum, VAWA, right from the beginning. VAWA is when you are in an abusive marriage to a citizen or older. And I started winning those cases and going to court. At first, a friend of mine was sending me to court for this case. and I had my own clients and winning asylum cases and just like really doing well. And I was learning more and more about it, and I loved it more and more. At first, I used to do other things like corporate a little bit, closings a little bit, but eventually I only started to do two things: immigration and local work divorces. And that's where we're at with our firm today. I hired one attorney, then I hired another, then a third, then a fourth. So we have, besides myself, four attorneys now working with us, a bunch of paralegals, other staff. We have a financial department. We have grown as a firm, and we have processes in place to make sure every client gets a callback, to make sure every client gets somebody to speak to from our office to explain what's happening with their case. There's no such thing that you get ignored. We always write, we call, we always in touch with communication with the client, and that's really important to you. And if you have a question and you're interested in joining a firm where I'm here for 23 years, almost 23 years, my staff 10 years, 12 years, 7 years, people who've been doing this for a long time. I even managed to work under Trump the first time and now the second time. Under Biden, under Obama, I worked under all of these presidents. So we understand how immigration law had evolved, and we're here for you. Now, let's get into today's topic. Over the years, we're starting to see a lot more people, millions of people, let's be honest, who are here for over 10 years in US completely without documents. They're working with somebody else's social, or um, perhaps they got an EIN number through IRS, but no social security number of their own. And they have kids born here, spouse. What do you do? In that case, you're eligible for something called cancellation of removal after 10 years undocumented, right? Basically, it's a case where you ask the judge in immigration court, and that means you have to get into court for forgiveness and a green card. And it's called cancellation of removal under 42B. That's the section of the law that allows for this. And you have to show that your children who are the citizens, or your spouse, or your parents, really, if your parents or sisters or works too, they really need America, and you won't be able to survive. That's called hardship in the home country if they had to follow you. For example, your home country might be going through like a war or a. It could also be that they need the medical system or the mental health system of America. Just gonna put the phone on do not disturb. Turn on do not disturb. Sorry about that. I always forget to put my phone on do not disturb, so people keep calling and texting me. Um, So, how do we do this? Practically speaking, if you call us and we see that you're here for 10 years or more, or a little close to 10 years, like 9.5, we will file for asylum. No other way to get into the court other than asylum. So we file asylum, and we have to put some kind of a case together. It can be nothing, but usually we have a U.S. children, spouse, or parent, older child, spouse, or parent, and the kids have to be young for this to happen. The younger they are, the better for the case. And if you're from like France or Canada, this is not going to work for you because your country has a good legal, medical, and social system. So you can't prove hardship. But if you're from like Mexico or Ukraine or Egypt or any Pakistan, India, and you can show that you need the American medical care or the American school system or whatever it is for your U.S. citizen relatives, then you can win. Anyway, you file for asylum. After 150 days, that's 5 months. We file for a work permit, and you will finally get a social. Then we might want to skip ahead and ask the asylum office to forward you to immigration court, so that in court we can file for cancellation removal, because you can't file it ahead of time. You have to be in court in removal proceedings to file it as a defense. Sometimes we just wait for the asylum office to call you and send you out to court. That's what we're referring to immigration court, or to proceedings, as we say. And once you're in front of a judge, we will file the application EOIR 42B with proofs of 10 years of continued physical presence in the U.S. The fact, you know, you can prove that you have children, their status, their medical condition, school reports, medical records, witness letters, and finally that you are a person of good moral character. You might want to do an FBI criminal background check showing you have no arrests anywhere in the U.S. You don't. If you have minor arrests, it's okay. We might want to include letters from a church or a mosque, synagogue, or whatever community center you volunteer at to show good moral character, and 10 years tax returns, or as many as you can get. Tax returns could be years that you've been here to show that you were working here and supporting yourself, so therefore you should have been paying taxes. And that's proof of good moral character. Free taxes you submitted to court. The court gives you one master calendar hearing. Sometimes it's a preliminary hearing, a lot of formalities, and then you will have your trial, which is called the individual hearing, but sometimes the merits hearing. Where the court will go over your relationship with the children or the spouse and prove that they need you in their lives, and whatever medical condition it is, we need to prove the hardship, the extreme hardship to these relatives. So if your kids are healthy and everything is good with them, that might not work. This really works best if there is a medical hardship, or if there's special needs or something like that, to show that the kid should be uh, with the parent in the United States. So that is cancellation or removal. And I'm going to talk for 5 minutes about the most recent immigration news, and then I will want your questions. Post your questions in the comments, and we will address them. Of course, nothing I say in the show is intended as any type of legal advice. For legal advice, please schedule a consultation with our firm, anybody in our team, and we will help you out and give you legal advice. This is just a show for educational and entertainment purposes. Um, Now, there's going to be news coming, updates, and different approach to U.S. citizenship testing and application system. Now, they're saying that now to be a citizen, it's not just enough that you've never been arrested or that you're paying taxes, although that's going to be part of it, uh, that you have to pass the English test and the history and the civics. Now they're actually going to be looking at you if you are a useful, positive person and make America like, you know, if you deserve this citizenship. So they're going to be looking at like your usefulness. They're going to be looking um, at like if you're working, what kind of work do you do. You're definitely not going to be able to get citizenship if you work at like a marijuana factory. That's not legal under federal law to this day. Um, they're going to see, you know, if you go to synagogue, church, if you go to mosque, if you volunteer, if you're like a good moral person. Um, and let me see, I just want to give you more details. Here. On August 15, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service issued a policy memorandum requiring officers to consider an applicant's good moral character. That is the positive attributes that the person brings to America and not just the absence of bad attributes. Good moral character has been a long time eligibility in the naturalization uh, system as it is, but now I guess they're going to be looking at it more carefully, and they will definitely be looking at what you do if you pay taxes. Like if you're saying that you don't have a job, you're unemployed right now, they might have an issue giving you citizenship. That's a big, big news over here for naturalization. Now, this is for somebody who wants to file the N-400 and become a citizen. These are the positive attributes this memorandum will look at. Okay, so this memorandum was issued on August 15th, and it is meant to restore the rigorous, holistic, and comprehensive good moral character evaluation standard for immigrants applying for citizenship. So these are the positive things they're going to look at. One is community involvement over time, not just once, and contributions in the country. Two is family caregiving, responsibility and ties, roots to the United States. Education, like if you're full year, big plus. Stable and lawful employment history and achievement. Length of lawful residence in the United States. Compliance with tax responsibilities and financial responsibility in the United States. So if you are somebody who declared bankruptcy or has judgments against them or unpaid taxes, they will deny you for bad moral character. If you've had arrests for things that were dismissed, that's still going to be bad moral character, and that's always been the case. And they, being arrested for DWI, unlawful voting, voter registration when you're not a citizen yet, um, and controlled substances, drugs violations, two or more convictions in DUI, those will be bar to becoming a citizen under this new memorandum. They're just stepping up what's always been there. That's definitely important to discuss and not to bring this to your attention. Uh, that's the most important. And now let's get to more questions. So I have a question from Sami Zamuri on YouTube. Sami says, we'll have 10 years of presence in the US. This is about a cancellation of removal that I discussed. In about a year and a half. So about 8.5 years in the US. Son has autism. He's attending special education classes, doctor's documents, and everything is there for autism. He will be 7.5 in at the time that my presence here is 10 years. What are my chances to win cancellation of removal? They're very good, especially if you're like from Pakistan, India, countries that we consider developing countries that don't have a good medical and special needs system. So I think you have a good chance for us when you're closer to the 10 years to start the process, okay? Baba T says, hi, I got my green card based on 360 Bob. Um, can I apply for my 16-year-old daughter who is back in my country, please? Yes, possible. Baba T, call us today. We can start the process. A lot depends if she was already included in your I-360. If she was, we are simply going to file a petition with the consulate to call her for an interview. If she was not included, then we might want to file a different types of case for her. So call us, we'll figure out what meets the criteria that you need. All right, let me get to my Instagram friends here. Hello from Indra Jidas. Um, King of America says, I work in Mexico City. Do I know Mexico City? Of course, I know Mexico City. It's in Mexico, and it's a beautiful city. I have never yet been there, although I've been to like Mexico a few times, but I look forward to visiting. Jorginho says, travel with advance parole. Is it still a problem? It's not easy. I just had a client who has a pending VAWA. I got him advance parole. He went to Macedonia, his home country. Upon return, he was questioned for like 25 minutes. They were asking him about his case. He answered, and they let him in. So it's not a horrible problem, okay? C.R. Rodriguez says, I have VAWA pending. I already have my legal entry to advance parole. Can my U.S. citizen kid now petition for me? Yes, absolutely. Yes, and that's what I'm doing for the guy from Macedonia. The kid has to be over 21 who's the citizen to petition for you. Just a bid for visas. Hi, can my dad get a job in U.S.? He's in logistics and change supply kind of job, 14 years experience, and he's a VP of F-Rider Logistics. His dream is to work in LA. Can you tell me? Either he needs an employer, like he needs a company who wants to hire him. Then we can do an EB3 or like a work visa for him. Or if he has his own like project, like a business plan that he can do in America, that might work. Anybody who's asking me for a job, I don't sponsor people for jobs. I only do legal work for the papers for the job. Farouk says, how much time will the EB3 process take? Depends where you're from. Okay. On the average, right? So let's see. Let's do September visa vote. Okay. Let's look at the times. All right. So if you are from China, it's about 7 years. If you are from India, it's about 10 years. If you're from Mexico, it's about 3 years. If you are from Philippines, it's about 3 years. If you're from everyone else, it's also about 3 years. That's how long EB3 is taking. I'm sorry, not three, like 5 years. Well, not 4 years. If you're from anywhere but India, Mexico, the Philippines, it's about 5 years. India is 7 plus 5, 13, about 15 years. And Mexico is about 4 years, all right? Approximately. Uh, Supriya says he's from India. Welcome to my show. Uh, Ankusha Doda says, I'm from India. Can I come on a tourist visa? Yes, but you need to file for tourist visa. Rod Hipunk J says, hello, ma'am. I filed my documents in May, the first week, but I still have not received a receipt notice. What should I do? I'm hearing a lot about the problems, the delays right now with receipt notices. Not in every kind of case, but in certain kinds of cases. So this could be that either they did lose your package. I hope you have some sort of confirmation of delivery. Like when we send things out, we send them by Federal Express and always request receipt confirmation or delivery confirmation. If you don't, you might want to think about filing again. If you have confirmation that they received it, they're just delayed right now. Give them a little more time. Anumago says if my brother is here on I-589 pending asylum package status, can their daughter get S1 visa? You can apply for, so the daughter wants to apply for a student visa in the US. Her dad is in the US waiting for asylum. Can she apply for the student visa? Yes, she can apply. Is it guaranteed she will receive it? Probably not. There's a chance they will deny her, but sometimes they do apply, approve. So you want to maybe try. Josiah to us says, good morning from Fargo, North Dakota. Hi, hello. So happy You're watching us from North Dakota. Just BT says, "Hey, can my dad?" Okay, I answered this already. Dot Straight says, "Did my Wi-Fi run 30 through a lawyer? They added there was wet signature, but mine was only electronic. Is that okay?" Uh, it depends how far back. Sometimes it goes through, sometimes not. They might ask, for a wet signature. But there's also a new policy that they're allowed not to issue a request for evidence and just deny a case for something stupid like not getting the wet signature. So just be cautious and watch the mail for any request for evidence or maybe even deny. Justar says, "Do you have to be an American citizen before you can file for a niece or family member?" Yes. And to file for a niece, you'd have to file for your brother or sister. And the niece would come with them. You can't file directly for a niece. Um, and, oh, Vikram says, "Do you talk about the Florida truck accident?" Oh, yes. Thank you, Vikram, for mentioning this. Oh, my God. So, this is a huge deal because so many of our clients are truck drivers while they're waiting for their asylum package or Wawa or something else like T visa. So there was a horrible Florida accident on the turnpike in mid-August with an Indian truck driver. He made an honest mistake. It wasn't on purpose. He made an illegal U-turn on a big truck and ended up killing three people, unalived. So three people gone because of this accident. What was the reaction of our Department of State? They declared that they're not issuing any more visas for the job of a truck driver to immigrants because too many immigrants who don't know English and don't know, like, the driving road rules and laws are driving and basically causing these accidents. Now, they also talked earlier this summer about a new rule that all truck drivers have to pass a basic test of English, proficiency in English, reading, writing, speaking, comprehension. Because to drive in America, you have to understand what people say to you, the road signs, talking to people, filling out paperwork in English. So the American Trucking Association has actually supported this and said that this will be a step in the right direction because it is not safe for these immigrants who don't speak English, don't understand the rules, and like bad drivers, new drivers, driving these trucks for 14, 20 hours at a time. They get into difficult situations on the road and they don't know how to deal with them because they don't understand what is being said to them, what is written, they have to like understand the rules. They're not getting it, and that's just unsafe for the public. So they are not issuing any more visas to truck drivers. However, I'm going to say that, first of all, it's sad. Three people died. Of course, it's sad. But it could have happened to anybody, even an American truck driver, somebody born here might have made that mistake. Also, many Americans cannot pass a basic English proficiency. I'm sorry. The test that immigrants have to do for naturalization. Over the years, I've been in this country for like 35 plus years, right? Over the years, I've watched every evening show host take a microphone, go into Times Square and other major, like busy areas of the United States, New York City, California, and ask people on the street the questions on the test and testing their English proficiency. Most people fail. Now you're asking the immigrants to be better than the average American, let's just say that. And not only that, most truck drivers who are immigrants, they didn't get this visa. Yes, some applied for this visa or got this visa, but they did not come here on a trucker visa. They came here, filed for asylum, and got a commercial driving license, and now they're a truck driver. You know what I'm saying? So this doesn't make any sense to me, but it's a big hype. It's in the news. Good, good for them, I guess, for doing something. But I completely disagree with this policy, and I think it's effed up. But you know what? In these times, I'm not surprised anymore. So that's the deal. Um, let's see. Um, Daz wants to know if for a consulting fee, would I review their application? No, we do not review people's applications. Either we do it ourselves or we don't give you legal advice. How are you? I'm good, thank you. From Salman Kazi and from Mohammed Mobin 307. Manan 77 says, one question, my F4 petition just opened in May 2025 when I was not yet 21. Now I am 25, 21. Are there any chances of me getting rejected as of this? They may, because you aged out of the child category. Salman says, I'm working in Bahrain. I'm a chef in a five-star hotel. I believe you even emailed me before and you want a job. We don't sponsor people for jobs. We just do the work involved, the papers. That's it. We don't give people work. Sami Zamori says, from Algeria with good moral character, paid 9 years taxes. Okay, you have a good chance of winning, Sama. So give us a call. We might want to start preparing the case. It's going to take a few months anyway. Okay. Thank you. Can I have your phone number for office contact? If you're watching me on YouTube, my phone number is running as a ticker on the bottom of the screen and also in my profile on both Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. My number is in the profile. Jazzy says my dog was approved. Master hearing is in October by WebEx. Should I ask for termination or adjustment for the court? Both are fine. You can ask your lawyer to ask for termination, or if they deny it, ask for adjustment by the court. So you could do one motion for both. All right, you guys, we've been together here for 33 minutes now. I want to say bye, and I want to see you later. I want to say see you later. I want to see you guys in 2 weeks. Prepare your questions. We'll have more to discuss. Today we discussed canceling your removal after 10 years being undocumented. When you have kids, Sammy here is the perfect candidate. He's from Algeria, about 9 years in America, has a son with autism who has special education and medical documentation, checks off all the boxes. Over 10 years, almost special needs child, yes. Needs American system. Algeria doesn't have a good system of special needs, taking care of special needs kids. Yes. Good moral character, yes. Paying taxes, yes. Excellent candidate, unless you live in some bad statistics of approval state like Texas or Arizona. We can talk about that when we do our consultation, right? Give us a call. My phone number on the bottom of the screen in the profile there. So we are here to help you guys with any difficult situation. Once again, here's my telephone number just in case. 718-769-6352. 718-769-6352. Love you all. Thank you for watching. See you in 2 weeks. Prepare your questions. Thank you.